Good morning,
and welcome to your Thursday morning coffee break. Clink.
Starring
Ashley Gatlin, realtor extraordinaire.
and Sean Morrissey, your friendly neighborhood loan officer.
Sean, your hair looks so lovely.
Thank you. It's gone.
You cut it off to be cool just in time for fall and winter.
Yep, less breezy, get less wind in my hair.
Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning again. We are featuring Zack Langston with Freedom Landscape. So,
Landscaper.
yeah.
You mean I get the day off?
You get the day off. Welcome to the show, Zack. Thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
We are joined here by Zack Langston. He is the owner of Freedom Landscape, a company I have the utmost respect for. I just think your guys' follow-through, professionalism, you have done it right. So tell me a little bit about Freedom Landscape and how you guys separate yourself from other landscaping companies.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are what you'd call a custom landscape installer. So we work directly with clients based on what they're looking for. We're not super cookie cutter. We don't work super well with, hey, here's option 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
We want to design a custom space for every client. And we service new builds. We do large remodels, but we're also large problem solvers. So good, for instance, I have a massive drainage problem. I don't know what to do. That's a great phone call for us.
Okay.
Just because we're going to be able to come up with something creative, and all that. Most of our business is spent in new builds and large remodels. But I encourage people, hey, don't feel like you can't call us to solve problems too. And as far as what sets us apart, you hit on it a little bit, just the level of service that our customers get.
Mm-hmm.
It not only is a custom landscape, it's a custom design profile all the way through. It's a custom service that you're getting all the way through. You feel like it's made for you. And that's what our clients enjoy. We're working through repeat clients now, and I've moved into a space with my role where I get to work with a lot of our repeat clients.
Mm-hmm.
And what's neat about that is that's what I get to hear back from them.
Yeah.
We're coming back to you because X,
Yeah.
Y, and Z. And most of it has to do with just the custom level of service.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of the biggest complaints about contractors is always the follow-through, but one of the things I just love so much about you and your company is that I never have to worry about that. If I give you a referral, if I have a client that has a problem they need to be taken care of, you're going to take care of them. And I just think if everybody did that, the world would run better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So one of the other things that you've touched on with me that I really value for my clients, because I'm a transfer of trust type person.
Mm-hmm.
I will put a little bit of energy into research, but mostly I want to develop relationships with people so that I can transfer my trust of you to my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And you touched on, even if for some reason you're not the right person for their particular job, you're going to say yes in 3 different ways. Can you kind of explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So for us, my goal is to be able to, number 1, help educate, but number 2, be able to bring that level of service to people who are our clients and to people who aren't.
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, we're not the company that you call and have to leave 12 voicemails and 15 follow-ups in order to get a hold of.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have a conversation with you over the phone. Sometimes that conversation goes like this. Zack, we are looking for a garden bed to be remodeled. For us, that's not a great referral.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not something that we do. But I'm going to take that conversation, I'm going to turn it around and say, man, that is not something that we do. Can I tell you a little bit about what we do?
Mm-hmm.
Educate them on who Freedom Landscapes is, and then turn around and say, here are 2 people that you should call that I know will help you with that.
Yeah.
And so our goal is to be able to take a question, and even if that referral is a no for us, how do I turn that around and turn it into a yes, essentially?
Yeah.
So I grew up in the service environment. I worked at In-N-Out Burger for 7.5 years. And
You
the
ran
customer,
one.
I ran one for a while,
Yeah.
opened one in San Antonio. It was fun. I had a fun time doing that. But one of the biggest things I learned is that if you're creative enough, the customer really is always right. And if the customer is always right, then how do I take our company, educate them about who we are, and then send them to where they need to go? So first we say yes to us. It's, hey, we want to help you. Secondly, we say yes to you as far as what is your problem. And then thirdly, we want to say yes to where do we need to send you if we're not the right fit.
Yeah. From an education perspective, you referenced a scenario where somebody was kind of calling you on an emergency basis, but what Sean and I continually talk to the public about is getting in early and often and preparing. So
Yes.
help educate me and my clients. Let's just take a new build, for example, a purchase price of a home. What can they anticipate to spend on landscaping depending on their desires?
Yeah. So we'll give an easy one just to give some round numbers. We'll use a $700,000 purchase price, and that's going to include everything out the door to closing.
Yeah.
So you're closing at $700,000. The value of that home that you purchased, we can take percentages based on the clients that we work with and come up with, here's what you get for this percentage of your home value. And a really good number for I just need to get in. How do I scrape by? How do I get in? How do I appease the HOA? By the way, we work with HOAs a lot and can help you with that process. It's part of our yes that we discussed. But with that said, how do I just get in the door? How do I get in this home and get landscaping done? 5% is a really good number. 5% of your home value. So let's take it for instance of a $700,000 home purchase. That's a $35,000 landscape for front and backyard, and that's going to get you irrigation, edging, rock, grass, a couple trees, and a couple plants.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's like, hey, I have a
beautiful,
yard.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. And it may not be designed to the nines, and it may not have all this dynamic and moving parts and all this stuff. It may not have all that, but it would get you in the door. The next would be the 8% mark, gets you a couple cool things. Maybe it solves a problem or two. Hey, I need a retaining wall over here. Hey, I want a nice retaining wall in the front for a garden bed. I want to have a couple tiers, or I have neighbors that I'd like to screen a little bit. Or whatever it is. Maybe you can accomplish a couple of those things and have a very nice design. 8% accomplishes that. And then once you get into the 10% range, you're really having fun. That's more, that is pavers, walkways, nice patios, maybe a little bit of carpentry, a pergola or something like that. If you start getting into outdoor kitchens and some of the real nice things that we do and we're capable of, I mean, enclosed patios, things like that, now we're getting into 15 and 20% marks.
Well, and I would imagine those could be, maybe the first step for the purchaser is to start with that 5% and then potentially plan to grow from there.
And that's another thing that we're going to help be a part of our process is that we can break down our bid based on phases. So it's like, hey, this is everything that gets you in the door. This is everything you want afterwards, and this is the things that if you win the lottery, we'll do for you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're happy to price stuff out that way. And again, it's part of educating. It's a part of saying yes. Is let me get you all of the information that you need and tell us what you want from us.
Moral of the story is definitely give Zach a call. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. No problem.
All right. We hope that was helpful and informative for you guys. Again, that's Zack Langston with Freedom Landscape. I really just think in general, his company stands for transparency, follow through, dependability, all of the good adjectives that I can think of. Sean decided to pop back in.
I'm back. Gonna get the whole day off.
Not the whole day. As always, if you guys can.
Like the video, subscribe. The YouTube link will be in the comments below. And then, if you guys have questions, if you have needs, if you have, anything real estate wise, I'm your numbers guy. Ashley's your property gal, and we'll go from there.
Cool. Thank you guys so much, and cheers.
Happy Thursday.